I know it's been a while, but let's talk about the Hunger Games again. I am rereading Catching Fire with the added context of Sunrise on the Reaping, and I found a bit that I don't think I've heard anybody else talk about yet, so we're gonna. And I'm on page 226 of my copy, and this is when Katniss and Beetee are back in the training center in advance of the 75th Hunger Games. And it's when Katniss meets Wyrus and Beetee, and I noticed something. Katniss says, "I already make excellent fires, but I'm still pretty dependent on matches for starting them. So the trainer has me work with flint, steel, and some charred cloth." The symbolism there that Katniss, who is already the girl on fire, she has already sparked a revolution, whether she really knows the extent of it or not, she doesn't. But the idea that she knows how to do fire, she is good at fire, but she's very reliant on a manufactured thing provided to her by somebody else to start one. So she learns how to use the more primitive tool. She learns how to use the tools of people who have come before her. Who goes into the arena with a flint striking stone around his neck? Haymitch. Whether she knows it or not, she is learning alongside Haymitch's first allies how to use the tool that was Haymitch's first attempt at a revolution. And the hint is there that Haymitch might have known these people before, and Katniss thinks about leaving, but she really wants to try using the flint again. And she knows that she has to report back to Haymitch that she tried to make friends, and she looks at Wyrus and Beetee and says that they are a bearable choice. And the woman, Wyrus, is probably around Katniss's mother's age. This right here should be a clue to us because we know that Haymitch is about Katniss's father's age, even before we know who Katniss's mother and father were to Haymitch and that they are, in fact, all of the same age. But the idea that Wyrus is also in that age category, that should be a clue to us that there is a pre-existing relationship there. And I also think that it's really important that Katniss's first clue is they're from District 3. Maybe they can confirm my suspicions of an uprising there. And this, I think, is, again, very clever because with the added context of Sunrise on the Reaping, we know that there have been multiple attempts at a revolution, whether it is on the scale of an uprising or just one individual, from District 3, since at the very least Beetee's entry into the games years before Haymitch. But I also think that it's really important to look at the order that Katniss goes in the training center here. Because she starts with snares. She starts with hunting. That is the tool that got her most of the way through her first games, the prior year. Then she goes to fire. She goes to the thing that has come to define her in the year between the 74th and 75th games, but using Haymitch's tools unknowingly alongside Haymitch's allies. And then from there, she is bored. She doesn't know what she wants to do next. She has to fill the time. She goes to the archery station. And she goes and uses the tool that has been hers since the beginning, finally shows everybody exactly what it is that she can do, and amidst all of the lies that she is currently telling and that other people are telling around her at this point, in that moment, goes into the 75th Hunger Games honest about one thing, and that is her own ability with a weapon and her own ability to be a weapon. And I just think that it's a very cleverly done piece of symbolism. That she starts with where she's been, she goes through what other people have been and are trying to teach her, and finally emerges as who she is. And this whole sequence ends with Katniss wanting only Wyrus and Beetee as allies, and Peeta's like kind of annoyed with her, she's kind of annoyed with him. There's like a disconnect between them in this moment, and he says, "It can be just you and me, you know." And she says, "I know, but Haymitch is right. Don't tell him I said so, but he usually is where the games are concerned." And super important to register that Haymitch also agrees immediately following that Wyrus and Beetee are a good choice for allies.